Hi everybody, it's Katie at the Alumni Association again. We're back with another travel program, Travel Talks info session. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Treasures of Thailand tour, and we have Julius with us from the Travel Corporation. So he's going to present about this tour. If you have questions throughout, if you're tuning in with us, make sure to put your questions in the chat. We'll go over those at the end. So Julius, I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
Hey Katie, how are you doing? Good to see everybody. Very excited to talk about this wonderful trip to Thailand. It's a huge opportunity to really see one of the hidden gems in Southeast Asia. I haven't had the opportunity to visit Thailand yet, but I'm looking forward to joining the trip eventually. But I'm very excited today to be talking about it to you guys, so you can learn a little bit about us, Trafalgar, our brands, and Travel Corporation, but also learn about this incredible tour. And we're very excited to partner with Shepherd University and the Alumni Association here in Katy. So we'll go ahead and go through the presentation for you guys here. So we'll talk here about the Treasures of Thailand, and it's an 11-day trip, but let's introduce me first. I'm Julius Stecker. I'm the Vice President of TTC Groups, and I am the one doing the presentation for you today. But kind of to give you an idea of what we're going to do first is I'm going to talk a little bit about our brands. The one we're talking about today is Trafalgar, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what we do at Trafalgar, and then I'll get into the nuts and bolts of the itinerary in Thailand here. But learning a little bit about our company, Trafalgar, a few things is our slogan is tour differently. So when we talk about guided experiences, because this is a fully guided tour, is we want to take you to basically all the must-sees. Like for instance, we'll take you to the local icons. We'll really dive into the culture of the areas here, take you to the hidden gems and the nuances of that, and then we'll also get a chance to spend some time with local specialists as well. One of the unique things with Trafalgar is we do these really cool experiences for you here. We call them one-of-a-kind experiences. One of them is called the Be My Guest experience. We get a chance to spend some time with locals, and we have that experience for you on this particular trip. And then the places that we go, we really want to engage and immerse you with our stays and stories. One of the things we really believe in here at the Travel Corporation of Trafalgar is responsible travel. So we have an organization that we partner with is the Make Travel Matter experiences, and those are provided for you on this trip, and then we kind of have a 5-year strategy with that. I'm not going to go too much into that too, but just know that our belief as a company is in responsible travel. But the thing I really want to highlight for you guys here is from a guided vacation standpoint is one of the great things of taking a guided vacation is everything is taken care of for you. So what I mean by that is 24/7 support when you're on the trip. We have the team who's with you. What I mean by that is the travel directors and the coach drivers. We provide the portage for you when we get to the hotels, and then travel preferences too, and then we also offer optional experience for you. So it's a fully immersive experience for you guys. And don't take it from me, take it from our guests who travel with us. We are independently scored by FIFO, and out of 5 stars we have a 4.6 rating, which is very high, and it gives you kind of an idea of the quality of the programs that we offer. But that being said about our brand, Trafalgar, let's talk about this wonderful itinerary called the Treasures of Thailand. So the tour itself departs the U.S. on November 29th this year, and it does start on November 30th, and it's 11 days, 23 meals. So it's a very comprehensive experience tour with a lot of meals included. So let's see the map here. So you can kind of see how the map works out. And there's on the map, you'll get a little confused here because there's pre and post extensions that you want to do if you want to sign up for. But you can do Phuket, and then also too if you want to do extensions into Angkor Wat and Cambodia. But the tour itself does a lot of, it's like I said, it's a comprehensive tour of Thailand. I'll talk through it here in a second as we go through the itinerary, slide by slide. So the first stop on our tour, we'll be flying into Bangkok. We'll have a welcome reception for you, and you'll have drink and appetizers included that evening when you get there. So day one, it's going to be a lovely day for you guys here. You're going to get a chance to spend some time. Day 2 is going to be a lovely day for you because what a great day. You'll get a chance to have a Tai Chi experience at Lupina Park, and we'll have a city tour for you as well. So you'll get a chance to do some Tai Chi, learn a little about the art of Tai Chi, and have that city tour. During the city tour, we'll take on this wonderful tour of Bangkok, and we'll take you to the famous Grand Palace. As we work our way through the Grand Palace, you'll see some beautiful sights here. and one of the highlights of the Grand area is the Wat Phra Buddhist temple, which is the most sacred Buddhist temple in all of Thailand. And at this particular temple, as you can see, it has the largest reclining Buddha in Thailand, as you can see in this picture here. And you can't go to Thailand without having a traditional Thai massage. So I'll actually take you to the center here to have a traditional Thai massage at the temple center, and you'll have the great experience of having the Thai massage. As we work our way through day 3, you're going to have another tremendous cultural immersive opportunity to have a Thai cuisine dinner and a cooking class. So part of that is you'll get a chance to do the 5 flavors of the Thai cuisine. We'll have a local specialist for a traditional cooking class for you here, and before that you'll get a chance to visit the local market to source the ingredients for your cooking class, which is really amazing. And then after you're done, you'll get a chance to enjoy the results of your ultimate cooking experience of the Thai cuisine. As we work our way through day 3, we'll also get some other things to do here, and then we'll spend some time in the City of Angels, and we'll get a chance to have some time for free time, and see, if you want to, this is an optional experience, is sign up to see the Jim Thompson House. Now, the Jim Thompson House has a historical significance because it's an American business that has put together this huge, immense collection of all the Southeastern Asian arts. So it's really an experience a lot of our guests really want to sign up for because it's a good opportunity to see some of the beautiful artwork in that area. And then as we work our way too, we'll get a chance to do one of these beautiful areas, and I think a lot of people like this here, is a chance to do the world-famous floating market here at the Dem Noen market. And you'll get a chance to connect with friendly merchants as you paddle along the canals to get that real Thai experience as you go through this particular area. One of the things, as I talked about earlier with what Trafalgar does, is we really want to, dive into culture, stays with stories. So on this particular tour, we're going to get a chance to do that here. So on day 4, we're going to get a chance to spend some time at a coconut palm sugar plantation and learn about the process of extracting the sap from the palm trees, which is really a unique experience for you guys here. After that, we're going to spend some time here and get a chance to hang out, and you'll get a chance to walk along the bridge to the Thailand-Burma Railway Museum and learn about the history of the infamous railway that was built during World War II. You can see some pictures there of that here. And you'll spend some time here at Kanchanaburi, and you'll get a chance to have some dinner at a local restaurant, and we'll do some sightseeing here as you go through the Hellfire Pass. And the neat thing about the historic thing about the Hellfire Pass, it was actually known as the Death Railway. And actually, the reason why I was given that name is because there was torturous conditions, as you can kind of see here, as they pushed prisoners through, prisoners of war during World War II, and the prisoners there were there to build it. And then later that day, after lunch, we're going to take you on a train ride right across the wooden viaducts here. And then we'll spend the night in Kanchanaburi, and we'll have a local dinner at the restaurant. As I mentioned earlier here, we like to really immerse yourself in history. And I love this part of the itinerary here. It is Ayutthaya. It's a UNESCO heritage site. We'll do a city tour for you here. It's known as the second most important ancient capital of Old Siam. And we're actually going to get a chance to walk in the city and learn about the city itself here. And you can kind of see here. And kind of give you a little historical history about the city. The city was all but razed from the ground after the 18th century Burmese invasion. So it gives you kind of a context of the historical elements of that here. Then after lunch, we're going to work our way back here, and we're going to take a flight from Bangkok back to Sukhothai. And from Sukhothai, we'll talk a little about more history when it comes to Thailand here. So you can kind of see here the beautiful areas of Sukhothai, and what the historical significance of Sukhothai, Thailand is. It was the first capital of Thailand. So take a step back in history, you'll learn about the 13th and 14th century of the golden age of Thailand, and see how it shaped the settlements and the environment of Thailand today. One of the great things I love about this itinerary here is you'll get a chance to spend some time at Sukhothai Historical Park. Kind of it reveals thousands of years of history in that particular area. We have a 15-meter seated Buddha. You can kind of see that right there in that picture. It's 15 meters high. It's within the walls here. And another cool thing about this itinerary here is you actually have a choice to explore the complex by bike or by internal tram. How cool is that? And then the afternoon, we're going to get a chance, as I talked about here, with the Stays of Stories, we're going to get a chance to really dig into our Be My Guest experiences, and we'll get a chance to learn about the amulet history in Sukhothai. And then, as I mentioned, with Make Travel Matter experiences, we'll get an opportunity to spend a day in the village in Dadochen and meet some local villagers here, and they'll learn and they'll teach us about the art, the ability, how they make gymnastic doll making, and how they make their traditional cotton clothes. So as I mentioned earlier, in our experiences as a company, we want to really have you dig into this area here and learn about the local industry here. And we give back to the area through the Make Travel Matter program. And here we go here, the lovely elephants. Can't guarantee that we'll see elephants, but most likely we will. But we'll head back and then we'll arrive in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is just a beautiful city. One of the most popular cities to travel to when you get to Thailand here. And we'll do a walking tour through the historical district here, and we'll get a chance to spend some time here. And this is actually the Sunday market. So for those of you who like to do shopping and exploring, you'll get a chance to spend some time in this area here. And like I said, in this area, we'll get a chance to really dig and immerse ourselves with locals, and we'll be able to join a family dinner for a Be My Guest experience. So, family lunch. So you'll join a family in a typical stilt house to the northern Thailand style in the Be My Guest experience. So really, really cool experience for you here. And then we will head out and we'll get a chance to visit some other areas here. And this is one of my highlights here. I've talked about here. It's like I said, this is the market that you go into here at Chiang Mai. But one of my favorite ones here is the Be My Guest experience. And then after that Be My Guest experience here, we'll get a chance to spend some time in Wat Swaduk. And I think this is the coolest experience of the trip, is you get a chance to meet a local monk and learn about the Buddhism and get a chance to interact with the monk itself too, which gives you that immersive experience of the destination of Thailand. And then from there, we'll have a free morning, and you get a chance to kind of wander around on your own, and you'll get a chance to spend some time here, and you'll get an opportunity to spend some time at one of the most famous sacred Thailand temples, and get a chance to just hear the tranquil sounds of the monks chanting, relaxing, and then that evening we'll cap it off with a farewell dinner in the traditional Thai restaurant for you guys here, and this kind of shows you how it ends here with the traditional Thai restaurant dinner. And then from there, we get a chance to head out. But for those who want to do pre and post, we can give you some more information on that on a request basis. But I want to give you an idea of what's included in the trip itself. We include these accommodations. Like I said, all the hotels are included. The majority of the meals are included for you all, which I mentioned earlier. 11 days, 23 meals. That pretty much all your breakfasts, the majority of your dinners, and a lot of your lunches are included. We include those essential experiences. Like I said, thinking of an essential experience here is when we do that meal at the stilt house in northern Thai, with the Be My Guest lunch. And then we have the interactions with the monk that you have here. Spend some time in the district there to do some shopping. Really an opportunity going back to some other things too, like the Hellfire Pass, the local restaurant here when you go to the Burma Railway, and then you get a chance to spend some time in Wat Phra Khao. So the essential experiences are included. The delicious regional meals, as you saw here. We have a travel director who's with you the entire trip from beginning to end. And then we have a dedicated driver, coach driver who's with you as well from beginning to end. So the bucket list memories, and then stories that last a lifetime. So those are all included for you guys here. From a pricing standpoint, it's actually a really good price. It's land and air pricing here. So twin share pricing is $550.25, and with single sub it's $836. If you do have questions and you want to sign up, I didn't take too long in the presentation because I want to leave it up for a lot of Q&A. But if you do have questions, you can feel free to contact our schedule groups department here at ttc.com, and you can reference the booking number here. Or if you have specific information, you can reach out to Katie, and she can forward the information to us here, and we can reach out to you for more information on the presentation here. So, without further ado, that concludes my presentation. But if anybody has any questions for me, I would love to answer those for you. So thank you, Katie, for allowing me to present this trip. I really think it's a trip of a lifetime, and I look forward to people joining us.
I agree. I think it sounds super exciting. Lots of really great historic landmarks and just personal experiences to be had. Could you go over a little bit more about with the pricing that you had up on the screen? Did you say that was land and air or just land? Could you explain what that means?
Yeah. So it includes the land cost of the trip. So if anybody wants to do the trip, we can give you the details out of the airport that you're flying out of.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get you details on prices out of those airports too. But I do think I'd have to double check, Katie, but I do think it's land and air costs. But I have to double check on that.
Okay. Yeah, and the great thing about our tours, anybody, any alum, anywhere in the country can go. It's just the airfare might change depending on where you're flying out of.
Yeah.
You don't have to be here close to the university to go on these tours. So if you're interested in signing up, you don't have to worry about like getting here first and then leaving as a group. Everybody would leave individually out of their own closest airport and then meet up over in Thailand. Could you explain a little bit more about what those pre and post options are, for those people who might want to extend their trip in either, prior to or after the main tour is finished?
Yeah. The cool thing is with and I'm sorry, Katie, the price is, let's look here. I'm just going to double back because it includes your inner air flights.
Okay.
Before I go there, I want to make sure that inner air flights are included. And then the pricing is for land only.
Okay.
So land only pricing. So the air flights that I mean are included are the flights when you're in Thailand, but you do have to find your arrangements to get to Bangkok. So that price is not included.
Yeah.
To that point, though, answer your question on the extensions in pre and post. So a lot of people say, hey, I want to stay longer. I want to stay longer than to 11 days. So you can do that here. So coming in, you can do the Phuket, which is more of an island experience, more like, fun and sun, that area here in Phuket. There's a lot of cultural experience there too, but it's more of a warmer destination. So you'll be able to do that, like a beach destination here. And then for those historical people who are interested in history, in architecture, I mean, one of the highlights of the world is temples of Angkor Wat in Cambodia. And that's at the post part of the trip. So doing that, it was on the short list to be one of the 7 wonders of the world. On the last time they did it, if you haven't seen it, any slides on it, Google it. It's really an amazing thing to see. A lot of people, if they're going over to this area of the world, they want to include that part of it because it's such a huge highlight to see.
So this is the Alumni Association's first trip option to an Asian country. I know you said you've never been to Thailand specifically, but do you have any sort of tips for traveling to countries that are maybe a little out of people's comfort zones or a little farther away, or anything about length of time? This is a little bit of a longer trip than what we would normally book. Normally we're sticking to the 7 to 9 days, so 11 days might be a little bit long for some people. So what sort of tips do you have for packing or to plan for weather or anything like that?
Great question, Katie. I think the big thing with this destination is be prepared for long travel days to get to Thailand. The flights from the United States, you're looking anywhere from 12 to 16 hours total flight time from wherever you're coming from. From a standpoint of weather, it's typically pretty humid and warm in this area here. So pack accordingly from that standpoint. I think the big thing is when you're in Thailand, things are less expensive here in Thailand or there in Thailand. And so your dollar goes a long way when you're buying things locally. So even though you're spending a good amount of money to get to Thailand, um, things there don't cost as much. So which is really nice from that standpoint. I think when you're just packing, when you're thinking about this destination in general, it is a bucket list trip, right? Most times you're going to go one time, but remember, almost all your meals are included. So your out-of-pocket expenses aren't going to be heavy unless you're buying things from a standpoint of like souvenirs or stuff for family or yourself. So a lot of stuff is included already. So your accommodations are included, your transfers are included, the inner air portion's included, which is a big one to understand too, because you see the cost of it, well, that looks pretty expensive. You got to remember the flights in between the areas are included as well. So a very comprehensive itinerary and a very inclusive itinerary. So you're not, when I would think of a destination like this, it's not a lot of out-of-pocket when you're there. So a lot of times people will lead in with a big price and give you, hey, it costs this much to go here, but not everything's included. With this trip, it's a very inclusive trip. So I think that's one of the things I really want to articulate to people is make sure they understand that even if they feel the price tag is a little higher, it's because of it's a very inclusive itinerary. So.
Which is great. I always try to tell people if you're hesitant about the price, you got to think of what's included. Like try to plan on your own and see price compare, see what that's going to look like because we get the group rates. That's what makes it so easy is you're traveling as a group. You're not just thrown out there on your own. You have that dedicated tour director. You have that dedicated bus driver. They're going to make sure you know where you are and how to get the things that you want to see. In terms of sort of while people are on the tour, how fast paced should they expect it to be? Is it pretty like slow and relaxed and they kind of take their time, or are they going to be like very much on the go, fast pace?
There is a lot of free time. It's a mix, Katie. That's a great question, though. I would emphasize this on a scale from 1 to 10, between a 5 and a 6. If you want to make it more active, you can. So, for instance, on one of the days where you can do the bike ride through one of the areas, that would be more active for the more active people. For some people, just want to take a tram that day, which you can take the tram. So, from a standpoint of activity, it's kind of you make it how you want to make it too. So it's not super intense. So I would put that on the scale of like a 5 to 6 when it comes to total activity. Now the key with this is always make sure you wear comfortable walking shoes, dress accordingly, stay properly hydrated, things of that nature when you travel to an area like Thailand.
Awesome. Thanks. Last question that I have. When it comes to passports and visas, now is this a country that you're going to need both or just the passport? How is that going to work?
Just passport.
Okay.
Would be something that you need, yeah.
Awesome. So easy, simple, don't have to do the extra step of a visa. Always good to hear.
No, exactly. So it's one of those destinations where you don't have to do too much to get into the country.
Perfect. So thanks, Julius, for giving this great presentation. Lots of information, lots of exciting things to consider. As he said, you guys can book directly through them through their booking email or calling and giving the group tour number. You can also reach out to me and have any questions you have directed to me, and I'll get those answers for you. You can find all of the information about this trip on the Shepherd University Alumni Association Roaming Rams webpage. So until next time, for our very final Roaming Rams Travel Talks info session on Thursday, we'll be talking about our New Year's trip to sunny Portugal. So I will see everybody then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.